Dubrovnik is one of the most prominent tourist destinations in the Mediterranean Sea. The walled city of Dubrovnik on Croatia's southern coast, also known as the Pearl of the Adriatic, was founded in the 7th century and has been ruled by the Venetians and the Hungarians throughout the centuries, each leaving their mark. Historically known with the name of Ragusa, this city transports visitors back in time with its thick medieval walls and massive gates, a time when Dubrovnik was a major maritime power in the Mediterranean Sea. In 1979, the city of Dubrovnik was added to the UNESCO list of World Heritage Sites in recognition of its outstanding medieval architecture, and today it gained even more popularity as a filming location for HBO's popular series Game of Thrones. Here is a list of top 25 tourist attractions and things to do in the old city of Dubrovnik. Number 25. The Jesuit Stairs. The Jesuit Stairs are one of the most representative examples of Baroque architecture in Dubrovnik. It is one of the most popular Game of Thrones locations in Dubrovnik thanks to the famous Walk of Shame scene. Number 24. The Minceta Tower. The Minceta Tower was built in 1463 at the height of the Turkish threat. It is the most prominent point in the defensive system towards the land and one of the best spots to have a panoramic view over the old town. Number 23. The Ploce Gate. The Ploce Gate is located on the eastern side of the land walls and is the second major entrance to the city. Number 22. The Saint Saviour Church. The Saint Saviour Church is a small votive church completed in 1528. It is one of only a few buildings to have survived the devastating earthquake of 1667 intact. Number 21. The Ploce Gate. Located in the western part of the city, the Ploce Gate has served for centuries as the main entrance and it is still the most interesting access point to the old town of Dubrovnik. Number 20. The Old Walls of Dubrovnik. Built in the 10th century and modified in the 13th and 14th centuries, these formidable walls are as high as 25 meters in some places and up to 6 meters thick. For centuries, they provided a solid defense against invaders. Totaling nearly 2 kilometers in length, Dubrovnik's city walls make a great spot for a walk and offer numerous excellent views over the Adriatic and inwards over the old city center. Number 19. The Dubrovnik Cable Car. The cable car departs from a lower station just outside of the eastern entrance to the Dubrovnik Old City and is making regular 3-minute runs to the top of Mount Srt. Built in 1969, it is the best way to enjoy a panoramic view of Dubrovnik's ancient city. Number 18. Mount Srt. This mountain has a height of 412 meters and is part of the Dinaric Alps. Here is a 19th century imperial fortress built by the French during the Napoleonic Wars, which is housing a museum of the Homeland War of 1991-1995. On the mountain is also a restaurant, and from here you can admire a panoramic view of the old town of Dubrovnik. Number 17. The Dubrovnik Bell Tower. Located on Luža Square at the end of the Stradun, the tower is 31 meters high. Originally constructed in 1444, the tower suffered damage in the 1667 Dubrovnik earthquake. It was demolished in 1928 and entirely rebuilt to the original design a year later. Number 16. The Rector's Palace. This palace used to serve as the seat of the Rector of the Republic of Ragusa until 1808. Built in 1435, the Rector's Palace is now home to the city's Cultural Historical Museum. The Rector's Palace was built in the Gothic style, but it also has Renaissance and Baroque elements. Number 15. The Game of Thrones Walking Tour of Dubrovnik. On the Game of Thrones guided walking tour, you will be taken to all the parts of Dubrovnik Old Town where some of the most memorable scenes were filmed. All Dubrovnik Game of Thrones filming locations are accompanied by commentary from a local guide with detailed scene descriptions and images of scenes from the exact episodes they made an appearance on. Number 14. The Sponza Palace. The Sponza Palace is a 16th century palace located in the Luža Square. The palace has served a variety of public functions, including as a customs office, mint, armory, treasury, bank, school, and today as home to the city archives, with documents dating back to the 12th century. Number 13. Orlando's Column. Orlando's Column is a well-known monument situated in the center of Luža Square, right in front of St. Blaise Church. The column, erected in 1418, features armored King Orlando, who according to the legend helped the people of Dubrovnik defeat invaders in the Middle Ages. Number 12. The Dominican Monastery. The Dominican Monastery and church was built in the 14th century and looks very much like a fortress. It is located at the eastern part of the city, close to the inner Ploce Gate, where it merges with the city walls. Number 11. The Fort of St. John. The Fort of St. John is located at the eastern edge of the Old Town. Today, the large interior of the St. John Fortress houses the Maritime Museum, where you can see model boats and naval artifacts, and the aquarium, with local and exotic fish, as well as a superb collection of seahorses. Number 10. The Island of Lokrum. Lokrum is the island you see in the distance from the old city. It is only 600 meters from Dubrovnik and receives regular ferry service from the city. On the island's highest point, at 96 meters above sea level, stands Fort Royal Castle, which was built by the French during Napoleon's occupation of Croatia. On the island are also a Benedictine monastery and a botanical garden. Number 9. The Church of St. Blaise. The Church of St. Blaise was constructed in 1715 on the place of an old Romanesque church from 1368 that was significantly damaged in the Great Earthquake of 1667. The new Church of St. Blaise was built in Baroque style according to the prototype of St. Mauritius Church in Venice. Number 8. The Dubrovnik Cathedral. The Dubrovnik Cathedral, also known as the Assumption Cathedral, was constructed by 1713 on the site of an older cathedral destroyed in the earthquake. The treasury of the Dubrovnik Cathedral contains 182 relics, being one of the richest on the Adriatic coast. Number 7. The Onofrio Fountain. Built between 1438 and 1444, Dubrovnik's famous large fountain of Onofrio is probably the best known of the city's many historic monuments. The fountain was an important part of the city's original water supply system. Number 6. The Franciscan Church and Monastery. The Franciscan Church and Monastery was constructed in the late 1600s on the site of the original monastery from the 1100s, and is now home to one of the most valuable libraries in Croatia. The library contains over 20,000 books, and among them 1,200 valuable old manuscripts. Here is also a pharmacy, which dates from 1317, and is the oldest still functioning pharmacy in Europe, and the third oldest in the world. Number 5. Fort Lovrijenac. Located on a rocky promontory just outside the city's western wall, Fort Lovrijenac, also known as St. Lawrence Fortress, has long been one of Croatia's most important fortresses. Often called Dubrovnik's Gibraltar, the fortress is rising 37 meters above the Adriatic. Number 4. Dubrovnik's Old Harbour. Located in the eastern section of Dubrovnik, the Old Port is both a tourist attraction and a departure point for cruises to the beaches on the nearby Lokrum island. The Old Harbour is protected by two breakwaters, the Porporella, built in 1873, and the much older Cache, which was built in 1485 from massive stones piled with wooden foundations. Number 3. The Banje Beach. The Banje Beach is located just a short walk from the historic Old Town and is considered one of the top beaches in Croatia. Number 2. The Luža Square. The Luža Square has long been a central gathering point for citizens and visitors alike. Featuring some of Dubrovnik's most famous buildings and public monuments, this former market square is found in the northeast section of the old city center. Number 1. The Stradun. The Stradun, also known as Plaza, is the main street of the old town of Dubrovnik. Measuring 300 meters in length and famous for its white limestone paving, the street dates back to 1468, although many of the surrounding buildings were built in the 17th century after the devastating earthquake of 1667. Undoubtedly one of Europe's most picturesque pedestrian streets, the Stradun boasts many cafes and restaurants and is a good place for some shopping or to rest after a day touring Dubrovnik. If you enjoyed our video and you are new to our channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you will know when we will upload a new video. Check out our next video where we presented the tourist attractions of another beautiful city.